I'm feeling myself.
Hello, everybody. It is Monday, May 3rd, 2021, and we just finished the 27th episode. Oh, there it is. The 27th episode of Big Brother Canada Season 9. It is the final week 10 here in the Big Brother Canada house. And we're in our final four. We just had our final four HOH, and effectively what we thought was going to be a hyper accelerated episode was not. Instead was something quite different, Jaemeel. It was more of a clip show. So a little bit of a different pace and a little maybe a little less exciting than we had anticipated because we thought maybe, well, we're get hey, Monday, the feeds are going to be down for days, right? They are going to give us an HOH tonight, a veto, maybe even the eviction, and then we're going to get right to final three. We're going to get part one of the HOH, but that's not the case.
Nope.
Instead, this is more of a traditional week where we're going in this final four. We have the we have the HOH, we have a bunch of filler, the competition itself. We have some of the strategy talk between these final four, and a glam ball, which fills up a lot of this. Along with some other stuff like Wendy's visits and
Got to make sure we have that Wendy's segment.
Yes. Well, if you get the apple pecan salad, it's worth it. And but make sure to have dessert first, Jaemeel.
Yeah.
Sure to have your frosty before anything else. And also, just these nominations, and we're gonna get a veto on Wednesday. I would assume because only one person's voting, they're not going to make us wait till Thursday for us to find out who that person's evicted.
My understanding is no, we won't.
I know they have to fill 2 hours on Thursday, and that's the other thing. We have a 2-hour finale starting at 8 p.m. on Thursday, so we will finish at the normal time. But
yay!
But we get twice the fun, twice the episode. So I guess there's a couple things to react to tonight. Namely, okay, this HOH more than anything, the fact that it's Tashawn in this position, he's safe, he's guaranteed to final three. What's your reaction, Jaemeel?
7
and
questions?
By the way, I'm Mader and Jaemeel Robinson. I didn't even introduce us yet.
Okay. 7 questions? 7 questions for like a very important HOH? I felt like it should have been win by 3 or something. Like it felt like a very minimal HOH. It didn't seem like it fit the scope and the importance that was necessary.
This seems like something you would have done live or would have done a part on Thursday, because it feels like it's meant to go quickly, but instead that's not what happened. They only showed us one round because we had to do other things apparently in the on Thursday's episode, I guess. So we're here and we get this this buzzer beater, which was kind of a process of elimination. Like every time you picked like who was evicted that week, there's one less option because everyone was only evicted. Well, yeah, everyone's only been evicted once, right? Tara, we'll see. But like to me, this was a bit of a snoozer competition. I didn't really, but they tried to make it exciting with the edit. Because it was tied. It was 7 rounds. Kiefer, Tara, and Tashawn all took 2 each, and then it was down to this final round. About as dramatic as you can make this format. But guess what? Victoria was the only house guest left, right? That could be named because there were 7 rounds. There's 4 people. So okay, I guess 2 people who were evicted were left out of this competition.
Yes,
right.
But once again, like I just didn't like this competition at all. I felt this was somewhat. If I was a competitor, I would feel kind of cheated. Honestly.
Well, yeah, and there was no veto the week that Julie was going, right? Was there? I don't think there was.
No, there wasn't. No, there wasn't.
No, so Julie couldn't be an option, right? So anyway, the more interesting things was just about diary room here. Maybe Kiefer saying like, "Hey, if I don't win this, I'm kind of I'm not doing too good because they'd be silly not to take me out." Tashawn's like, "I need to take Kiefer out," right? So this played out exactly.
It just seemed like they were repeating a whole bunch of stuff this episode over and over again.
Yeah, Tara's like, well, I guess I'm going on the block for the 5th time. I hate it because I didn't win. That's how this works. I'm like, I know, Tara. I know how this works. After the competition, Kiefer knows he's in trouble. But maybe we should talk more about Brayden and Tashawn and their relationship or whatever it is. And there was a sequence with them in the bathroom after this competition where Brayden was like, hey, man, gives him like a hug from behind. Tashawn kind of resists at first, but then embraces it. He's like, like, you know, he's completely, what's the word? Conning him.
I don't want to say that he's conning him. I just feel like he is understanding the relationship that is being presented to him. All right. So when I say that, I mean that he Brayden is looking for comfort and he is allowing him to find it in him.
Okay, so Brayden's available. You're saying
No,
so...
Brayden, like, people are different in terms of how they seek comfort. Some people are not very involved in terms of being touchy-feely, right? And whereas others seem like they seem very they like that cuddling aspect of it, right? So
Right. I've seen other Big Brother players like this. It's not that unusual, but when Brayden went to go hug Tashawn from behind, did you not have a reaction? Or did you not feel something?
I didn't feel anything. I felt. Did you feel something?
I felt like Tashawn pulled away for a minute and then went,
Okay.
"Oh, I can't pull away. I have to go with this."
Yeah. See, I'm a weird cat because people sneaking up behind, I'm not a big fan of at all. So uh, when like that sequence seems normal to me. If someone did that, I would automatically just kind of like, like, okay.
I might too, but I don't think that's the way Tashawn would have reacted if Beth had hugged him from behind in the same way.
Well, Beth probably feels different, and at this point, he's probably used to it.
Yeah, perhaps.
It's her again.
It's open to interpretation.
Yes,
everybody.
and I understand that's your interpretation of it. So the whole conning aspect of it, Brayden's also a big boy too. And if Brayden thinks that there's something more, he needs to verbalize it, and he should also separate it from the game as well.
Well, he's a big boy, but he's a slightly less big boy than Tashawn, who is 29 versus Brayden, who I believe is 23. So it's not a huge difference here, but there's I think maybe a slightly more naive person in Brayden.
Well, lessons learned is
We'll
going to
see.
be an aspect of it. I'm not going to vilify people, just like how I'm not vilifying Beth for being the
Even
like,
sorry.
do we know if that relationship is genuine or not? She might have feelings for it, but that relationship might not necessarily be like genuine to the point that like parties involved might feel.
No, like Jaemeel, they had a rain kiss. Jedson and Beth, they were like they're the new Notebook, right? Oh, now I have to find it.
I'll give you a moment. I just like
No rain kiss. Never heard anybody.
Cutest man in the world.
See,
rain
Brayden
kiss
said
never hurt anybody.
It didn't hurt anybody. Didn't hurt anybody.
No, it's giving me lots of enjoyment playing that clip.
I'm not going to start vilifying people for.
I don't know if he deserves to be vilified, even if it turns out to be right. Even if I turned out to be correct here, the Tashawn's like deep down, he's not feeling this. He might be friends with Brayden, but he's not. He doesn't romantic.
Never hugged one of your friends. Never let.
I'm not saying there's anything, but I what I read in that position was that Tashawn wasn't into it. Okay. Like
fair enough.
That's not necessarily how he rolls. But
in the same breath, we can also say that they could have a relationship, and even with having a relationship, you could still feel uncomfortable in that moment as well.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Or just knowing, hey, I'm on TV, that could be the source of it too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what Tashawn's deal is, but we could also say he's a good player, right? That this angle, the relationship with Braden and how he's going to use that to try to win the game is commendable from a gameplay standpoint.
Yeah. Just
You
like
know,
how some people are friends with people that they wouldn't necessarily be friends with for the sake of the game.
right.
Right. And then when the game is over, they're like, peace out.
Peace out. We were never really best friends, but
Yeah.
if you might believe that though, you might believe this. Me and him, we're best friends for life now.
Yeah.
Whoever X person is, there's a chance that's true, but there's also a chance that hey, that relationship was just a marriage of convenience.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I also just
You don't
want
have
to
to
talk
be a
about
mad scientist to agree with that.
Sean's HOH sequence tonight. Who wants to see my HOH room?
Oh,
Final four. He got a letter from his best friend Abby.
wait, did you skip over? Okay. Could you clarify something for me? So first there was a picture of him and his mom, and then the second picture was him and his mom in a bathing suit.
No, that was Abby, wasn't it? Wasn't Abby in the bathing suit?
Well, it was okay. I was confused for a second there, and I'm like, it's kind of weird that you would showcase the dude's mom in a bathing suit again. I couldn't quite tell.
Yeah, there was yeah, it was all over the place. I don't know. It was like he read a letter. Like this thing where you get a letter from your friend, and then you get a video message from your mom at Wendy's. I guess I don't know. All of it's we're not big fans of it. We've talked about that in many podcasts
Did
on
it feel
Monday
like it
nights.
kind of breezed through this episode? Like they didn't spend any time on it. They kind of just like, okay, we want to show the same things that we showed everyone. So here, picture, letter. Let's move on.
I think especially since Ty didn't like he was HOH before, but then it was a fake double eviction or whatever we want to call it. And so he was a fake HOH to some degree. So maybe this was them just giving him something back.
I think they
I
should
don't
have
know,
gave
like
him a letter the first time. Even if it was a fake HOH, you still should get your letter.
yeah, you should still get the letter and maybe your music or a snack at least. Whatever's in your thing.
Dude,
Yeah,
hide this celery and peanut butter in the kitchen for you waiting.
yeah, exactly. Right. So we had this HOH sequence. It was kind of standard. Then we had there was what sequence with Kiefer was talking to Ty in the kitchen about Kiefer's like, hey, and who do you want to be next to at the end, and who might take you and not take you to the end, and lots of scenarios. And I think Kiefer's he's doing exactly what he should be doing, which is kind of casting doubt on different scenarios and how he could be a benefit to Ty or how certain people may not want to take him to the end. All those kinds of things you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So it was. I thought all of this was just good. You're seeing that the final four are working the different angles. We also saw Braden and Ty were in the HOH room. They're kind of acknowledging that they both know that Kiefer beats them in the end. The Kiefer is sort of like the heir apparent and will win this game if he's next to any of the other three. And Kiefer seems to know this too. And so they have to get him out. If not this week, then at some point in the HOH, or if he is the final HOH, it's kind of game over.
Yes, but the underlying issue with that thought process that Kiefer is the most dangerous player right now and needs to be gone for them to win isn't the issue whoever gets to take him out gets to add that to their resume, right? So let's
Right.
say Braden wins it. So wouldn't that make Braden the most dangerous person because he got rid of Kiefer, who was the last remaining dangerous player?
It depends
Um,
on who casts the vote, right? And it really comes down to whether, like, if Tashawn wins the veto, then somebody else casts the vote, but he
yep.
gets to decide who casts the vote. Probably he would get Braden to do it, but then how much can Braden get some of that credit? Do you not take out Kiefer at the final four, knowing that Tashawn might get this huge resume notch, but you're taking this calculated risk that, hey, I'm not taking out Kiefer when I have the shot? When I'm
Or you
two
take him
moves
out
from.
during final three.
Yeah, but like, what if you can't? What if he wins? too much of a risk.
Isn't anything too much of a risk at this point? They should have got rid of him last week, honestly.
They should have gotten rid of him 2 weeks ago, but they didn't. You know, they flipped gears and they got out Tina, big threat Tina. It was kind of dumb.
She was
Then we get to the start of the whole glam, the awards, and everything else.
Winner, chicken dinner.
That was how they kicked off the sequence tonight. The jury house sent out it was the four of the jury. At first, they were doing this visit. Hey, we're doing the awards. It's the BBCAN Awards, everybody, and the house isn't the same since we left. Blah blah blah. Okay, so I need to talk about this. All of this stuff, not just at the very beginning when there was this jury house message, which I was okay with, but later on in the awards, where they were like they're showing footage, they're showing sequences. Like, this is kind of a Big Brother taboo, in my opinion, right? To show
they have in the past, they have shown sequences, in the past. Like, look, as long as they don't show anything that can impact the game, like Tashawn being stupid, considering reindeer is one thing. If I wasn't fan of the argument.
Yeah, I thought that showing that was not good for Tara's game.
Not necessarily. I think that it shows that Tara has been independent and has, for a long while, felt that it was her versus everyone.
If even anything, it put like a bit of a target on her that's showing that she was stepping up her game and willing to call people out. And so, like, I just think showing different stuff, like Tashawn wasn't there to hear that, so therefore to give him that footage now it's shaping the game.
Fair enough.
You know, so you're supposed to not have this like anything like that, and even showing the jury is one thing, but like giving them more information and like whether the reindeer are real or not. I don't even think that you can't Google it. So, but anyway, we'll come back to that. Let's talk more about the beginning of this, which was the BB Glam Ball, the fashion show.
Okay, this is where I thought this is where the meat and potatoes of how you would feel would be kind of brought to the forefront.
Well, let's bring in some of these images here. This is Braden. I don't know if you know, but he's a butterfly.
Yeah.
Oh, and did I mention that I'm literally a butterfly?
We also he's also
pastel princess and mono.
Yes. We have Tashawn here in his gear. He's
I rock anything I wear. I feel like I can look good in anything.
Are you feeling it?
I'm not feeling anything from
I'm feeling myself.
Lord.
We had Tara in this garb here, looking like a
80s
fairy of some kind. I don't know, like some kind of Tinkerbell.
Have we totally forgotten about this theme of the house? Like, the theme just went out the window like week one.
Yeah, we forgot about the theme, and then we had Kiefer's with the big bird on his suit.
Watching this, I'm like, are these tributes for the Hunger Games? Like, and each one is representing their district. Come on. I'm like, jeez.
That's kind of what it was. Yeah,
that's what it felt like. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so.
Because this was based on a tattoo he has on his arm, right? I think he said that.
I think that if it was me with a tattoo, I still wouldn't have it. Like, it's because of he's indigenous. That's why.
Why. They were. This was. You're right. This is a great analogy. The Hunger Games. They're all representing their respective districts. This is the official look for the people of Calgary. The Braden's bringing on here, and this is Montreal. This is a traditional Montreal.
And Tara's old, so they got something from the 80s.
Yeah, Tara's born in the 80s, so therefore this works. You know, she's all the way back then.
Sorry, quote unquote old.
Quote unquote old. She's actually younger than both of us.
She's
Not
using not much. Yes,
Not much. Months.
So yeah, if you were in the house, you'd be the old man.
I would be. I'd be like the Spencer Clausen or somebody like that if I was in the house.
But
You
less
know?
creepy.
Less creepy, but well, maybe I get final. Well, I don't want final 3. I want to win.
You want to win. Exactly.
Yeah. Just not charismatic. I don't think Spencer Clausen.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Okay, so just they were doing their thing, and then we got the awards, which was fun. I guess if you're gonna do a clip show, why not do it from the ball pit? Right.
So they can't let people sleep in the ball pit, but they'll have a dinner and a movie and drinks in the ball pit. That's fine.
It was. I'm not. They're being very inconsistent with the use of this ball pit. What if it's a punishment or some kind of reward for the house or some kind of fun? But
It was a word for a house for Victoria.
Let's talk about all the different awards. We had the most discombobulated debate. It was whether reindeer are real, which I do have a clip of.
Reindeer are real.
Yes!
Maybe it's based off of a deer, but they're not actually.
Reindeer is a type of deer.
Why are you so convinced they're real?
Because I know. Like, I literally watched.
Where?
I have a documentary
On
about
reindeer.
Yeah.
And what do you know about them?
I literally told you.
No, tell me again.
Reindeer are women. That's literally what I told you.
They're all women?
Like they're all female.
So Rudolph is a woman?
It's a female, yeah.
Biologically, yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's like arguing with a wall.
Biologically, yes.
Yeah. It's okay, guys.
Look.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I never really understood what Braden was trying to say about all the reindeer were women or something or female. But reindeer are real.
What I don't understand is even how the question is even like positioned, like how Ty is approaching this conversation. He's asking a question indicating that he is unaware if it is a fact or not. And then the reply is, yes, it is a fact that reindeer exist. And then he automatically is like, no, I don't believe you. Or not even that, is like, you don't know what you're talking about. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. You just say that. I don't think that's
skeptic. Yeah. He's very sure of himself. Well, he can look good in anything, in any opinion, really, too. Versus this other conversation, which was in the kitchen. It involved many people, including Tashawn and Jedson and others, about chicken versus eggs.
Yes.
And whether eating a chicken is the same as eating an egg, and or
if you're allergic to eggs, are you also allergic to chicken?
I don't think so, right?
I think it's the enzymes from the egg that make the difference. And that's what you're allergic to.
Right. It's not the actual species you're allergic to.
Correct.
Right.
To my knowledge,
but it's possible. Like, I don't know. So anyway, but just this whole thing about, it was kind of a ridiculous conversation. It couldn't compare to this reindeer chat, which of course won.
I disagree. I disagree. It shouldn't have won.
You think that this one?
No, I think that the obvious nomination should have been Spicy V talking to the Sunsetters, explaining why LaToya, the whole situation with, like, after this week we'll work together, but this week we're not working together thing regarding LaToya being evicted. That whole speech that went on forever, that made no sense and kept going in circles. That should have won.
That one as much.
Oh, dude, that was.
Well, that's awkward.
I remember her, and everything with LaToya.
It was a terrible conversation. That would have been my vote.
Okay, well, I think that the reindeer was a fitting winner here, in my opinion.
Without giving out any game talk, definitely, you're absolutely sure.
Yeah, but even like some of them were not there for it, right? Even these final four, they're like, "What?"
Keeper's like, "This doesn't make any sense at all."
Yeah, I can't believe I'm on a season with this. And then Tashawn still didn't believe in reindeer even after everything.
Yeah, and then they have to come back.
When Rohan said, "Hey, reindeer are real," he goes, "Well, how does he know?"
He doesn't know anything. I'm like, wait, what? What?
Does Rohan know nothing?
Did they need like production to come on? Ty, reindeer do exist.
If it wasn't a pandemic, I think they would have to bring a reindeer in. just to show it to him, you know. But I don't think that's feasible right now. Okay, we also had the favorite face-off. This was my least favorite award because I thought it showed too much. That was too much of the drama. I think it's one thing to show the goofy stuff, but I think some of the more intense game stuff, I think should not be included in these kinds of things, or it should be like done with like house guests who were evicted long ago,
Like
maybe
Josh.
like Josh, like show like the argument between Josh and Julie or something that doesn't really affect things now.
Yeah.
This was you know, but anyway, we had the Kyle and Rohan and Kiefer and Latoya fight, the pantry gate as we called it at the time, versus the you know, the Tara calling them all cowards, and then Kiefer saying, "Don't call me a
Call me a coward."
Yeah, don't
Call me a coward, Tara.
Are you playing right now? Bunch of cowards.
This of course won. I have the whole clip from back then.
I'm gonna win this game.
Not sitting next to him, you won't.
Yes, I will.
Guy hasn't touched the block, hasn't had to do anything.
Huh.
If you don't think that they will cut you next,
They're not gonna get a chance.
I hope not.
They did.
Don't worry, Jed. You got my vote.
I just love it.
We'll vote you out.
I love when how indignant Kiefer is at the prospect. Not sitting next to him, you won't.
Huh. Well, I'll tell you, Tara.
You know, if
Yeah.
he was watching Star Trek 9 at 9, he would say, "What a laugh!"
What a laugh that is. Get out of here, Tara. Sir. Okay, so this one, and just the reaction.
And then they start high-fiving each other. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so...
They too much. You oversold it, Tara. You oversold it. But I kept it as a clip, so thank you. All right, then we had the best dance moves. Okay, I was fine with this award. Best dance moves is fine. We had you know, Braden and Beth, I guess, were kind of co-submission for in the HOH doing.
The Elaine Award. They should have named it for Beth. Jeez.
Beth, not a good dancer. Braden, pretty good dancer.
Yeah, I guess.
Better compared to
Better,
Beth.
yes, better.
Yeah.
Like Beth, I'm surprised BB Medical didn't come in to check to see if she was having a stroke. Jeez.
Right. But how could that compare to Victoria's whatever she did back in the when Victoria cut loose, if you
Jesus.
recall? Do you remember when Victoria cut loose way back when?
Your ass is grass.
She was rubbing that grass all over that place. That's soap and some pine sol all on the couches, in my opinion. She busts.
That was what they said. She is that girl.
She is that girl. Yes, she's
Yeah.
that girl.
Oh yeah, Victoria. She of course won. I thought deservedly so, because how can you forget that or unsee that? There was also this bingo won the next one. I don't even know what the award was for. It was I kind of tuned out during this
Best like challenge, I guess.
challenge. This is where Kiefer sat in the milk or whatever it was.
Yeah,
and,
it was a combination of stuff. It's not like the golfer was gonna win. The golfer count, that was not fun.
No,
Or the
very forgettable.
Yeah. I can't even remember a lot of these challenges for just like food. I can't even remember.
No.
Because it was so easy for individuals to win.
Is that spaghetti noodles?
Oh yeah, they didn't do the spaghetti fight. I'm surprised they didn't show that sequence.
I'm sure that I was a little surprised that didn't make the show. And then we got a montage with lots of emotional stuff, clip show kind of stuff. They were pulling on the heartstrings. They wanted this cast to really feel it. Were you feeling it, Jaemeel?
No, I was not. I was not feeling this whatsoever. Like, sentimentality is fine. I'm a very sentimental dude. But when it seems so prepackaged to the point that this was, I'm like, no, it doesn't work for me at all. There wasn't enough juice in the squeeze, in my opinion. There were things I felt should have been included.
Normally, you show this kind of stuff on finale night after the vote has happened, when you bring the whole cast back and you reunite them. This is when you would kind of show this kind of stuff to celebrate the season. It's weird that they're throwing it in here on Monday You know, but not that Big Brother US doesn't do clip shows. They often do a clip show sort of in this Final Four stage here too, but it wouldn't be on, I guess it'd be on the Sunday. It's because we get a whole week in between.
Yeah. No
this is
concert, no BB concert.
Well, you know what? We have to give this a chance. Yeah, no concert, no Ziggy Marley or whoever is going to be brought in.
Ziggy Marley.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Ziggy Marley.
Oh yeah, I love Ziggy Marley. Where was I going?
Have you ever seen Ziggy Marley perform?
I'm sure he's fine. You know, I'm not.
I have actually seen him perform live.
You know, I don't think he has the notoriety of his father, but I'm sure he's
Once again,
fine.
I say the juice is not worth the squeeze. I would not go to the lengths of everyone Ziggy Marley. Ratings would plummet.
Right.
Plummet.
But what we are going to get, the question we're going to answer maybe on Thursday is this like week where basically this Monday episode played much like a Sunday Final Four would in the US version.
Yeah.
Right. But we are going to crown the winner on Thursday, whereas in the US version, we would have like a whole week in between, which we would have more like focus on the final three and those and the turmoil each of the final three have to grapple with, like, who do I take if I win? If they win, who will they take? You know, so that's all going to have to be very much condensed compared to how they would normally do it.
I think they're gonna do veto and eviction on Wednesday, plus the kind of conversation about part one. They're gonna show part one, part two, and possibly and part three, and all the jury stuff on Thursday. So that's how it's gonna play out.
Right. Interesting. What else? Okay, so at this point I was saying, oh no, this is where I realized we weren't getting the veto tonight.
Nope.
When the montage started, I realized it was over.
Even the beginning of the veto, you were like, are we gonna get it? No.
I was like, are we gonna? Well, because it's possible still. Like, we obviously do double evictions in half an hour, and it's possible to fit all this in. Especially with so few people voting, only one person voting. It's possible to fit this all in tonight, but nope. No, they're gonna push it to Wednesday. So Ty took Bray to Wendy's for their date, which he promised him long ago. Both got salads. They were taking a little lighter tonight.
No, he says he wanted a Baconator. The first, like,
well, he said he wanted a Baconator, but I don't think he ordered a Baconator.
I don't think he ordered a Baconator either. I think he's like, it's finale night. I gotta do more crunches.
I gotta do more crunches. I need to, go to a little bit more roughage. I'm looking for junior bacon cheeseburger, but
I know you're looking for that clip.
Of course, yeah.
At this point, if you're not in the
Junior bacon cheeseburger for a junior kind of gal.
That's Jetson going woo or whatever he's doing. Anyway, that was when he picked up his Wendy's, Tashawn's mom was there, and Tashawn's mom, she's like, she threw a little French in, and Tashawn was like, why are you doing that?
You're hating my marketability.
Well, or like I just think I got the impression like maybe they're not a francophone family. They might speak French, but they don't speak French at home. So he caught him off guard, I thought.
She was giving him clues.
Well, he is the lone Quebecer in this game in general. So he's sort of representing the province in some ways here. That could have some meaning.
They're probably like, the producers are like, say something in French so that, like, we want those Quebec. Yeah, we want to make sure the Quebec is on our side, because if you don't mention it, they might just seem like, oh, he is not a true Quebecer.
He does not believe in Quebec.
Quebec.
But there's a whole English community in Quebec who I'm sure is watching him too.
Yeah.
You throw a little French in there, you're kind of like saying, yeah, that's the Quebec experience. Either you're English.
He's gonna work on his French. He's gonna be the BB correspondent in Quebec.
He might be. You know, there's been some interesting players out of Quebec in this Big Brother Canada, these 9 seasons. Also, Deshaun was a little bit judgmental of Brayden having the Frosty first. He's like, "Really, Brayden? You're gonna have a Frosty as your appetizer?" And Brayden's like, "Yeah, what's the problem?"
Deal breaker. It's off. Relationship is off. I should
How
have
dare they?
put you on the block. How dare you?
How dare you? This is so humiliating. That's the other thing he likes to say a lot.
Pastel princess.
Okay, and then Tara went to go speak to Brayden, talking about the relationship between. She's like, "I really don't know what's going on between Brayden and Ty." Okay, but how do you know more about this than Tara does, Jaemeel? Because you've been talking about Brayden and Ty since like week 2.
Feeds.
But I guess she's never in the room when.
No, it's been like, and remember, a lot of the more public PDA has been when the Sunsetters, or sorry, the trio was together with Brayden. So the week after Austin left.
Okay,
So Tara was
wouldn't
still
be a
with Tina.
witness.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tara still was with Tina at that point.
Okay, interesting. And she asked, "Do you have like feelings for each other?" And Brayden's like, "Well, yeah, maybe." And I'm like, "Brayden, don't give your heart away."
But Brayden also don't say that to her if she gets like veto and she's like, "Well, I can't make sure that this dude continues on because then it's going to be 2 versus 1, where I'm not sure where Kiefer is going to be at the
Well, she
very
can
end."
use that information with Kiefer, saying like they're in love with each other. Like obviously, it's a showmance. You have to consider that,
Yeah.
right? And
So that's why I felt like Brayden, that was the wrong answer. Who knows what happens after this season? But for right now, we're just playing a game. That should have been his answer.
This conversation definitely benefited Tara more than it benefited Brayden's game.
Yeah.
I thought. And then that was almost the end. Sorry, we missed. Kiefer was missing home. He was homesick, and he sang a Haida Gwaii lullaby.
Yeah. Kiefer, do not recite poetry in the Big Brother house, because they've already sung, right? And I don't know. I guess chants and indigenous poetry and chants aren't copyrighted, so it's public domain, maybe.
Yeah, this was maybe cultural significance or different things. Did you enjoy this?
It was fine. I'm sorry I'm not as hyped up. I just wanted a little bit more from this episode. I was expecting some of this on Wednesday and Thursday as opposed to today's episode.
Right. Well, to take feeds down for 5 days to give us this seems like.
Oh, well, they didn't take feeds down.
They didn't?
No, they're spoilers, friend.
Oh, well, hey, that's a spoiler in itself. Okay, we're gonna get to look ahead here. That's exciting. I thought there was gonna be no information.
Yeah, spoilers. Feeds went down either Sunday or Saturday, I believe.
Okay, all right. Let's get to it. And the nom ceremony, which we know means nothing in Final Four, but it's Tara and Kiefer. Brayden's the one he chooses to leave off. Not a big surprise.
Yeah. And also puts more merit to, wait, is their relationship just for the game or ...
Yeah, it does. There's a bit of doubt there for sure. Like, what is it to Ty? What is it to Brayden? How is it this going to play out in these Final Four? It's kind of interesting. It's kind of an interesting effect
dynamic,
here. Yeah. And I feel like I want Kiefer to be taken out because I think it's too obvious. It's like, why do I want to see? Like, it's like watching Michael Jordan.
I know why I want to see it. I want Kiefer to win. But that being said, I would prefer if he won his way there as opposed to someone foolishly drags him there and then he just beats them. So we'll see. I'm interested to see how this plays out. I just want it to play out, and I'm kind of like this hold up. It yucked my yum fun, right? That I wanted to have this like, oh yeah, to see who won veto, which I know who.
I've never had such a good chance of winning, Jaemeel. I have 2 of the final 4 in the draft this
This
year.
could be your time.
This could be my time.
Yeah.
Kiefer is not one of those. That's
You
Jane.
need Kiefer out.
Jane always wins. I can't let Jane win again. Not that I have any choice or I'm allowing it to happen.
You're gonna go in and start yelling at the wall. It's like, take Kiefer out. I need to win my pool.
Nothing is rigged.
I would feel like, hey, this is a rig here. Like, hey,
No bananas. No bananas. No bananas.
Everything that happens is so real.
Thank you for telling us that, Victoria.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right. So that's the episode. Would you give out of 10? What would you rate this episode?
2. I was not feeling it. I was not feeling it at all. Expectations are a curious thing, and I had expectations, and they were kind of dashed. So
okay, I would give it a little higher. I'd say it was kind of mediocre for me. It was maybe even a little bit of a letdown considering it's supposed to be the finale week, and it was kind of like that clip show episode. So at most I can give this like a 5 or a 6. It was kind of like
yeah.
What's the best thing that happened tonight was the fashion show. Like,
I'm feeling myself.
and Tashawn won, who I was hoping for. I was hoping Tashawn would win this HOH. I didn't want Kiefer to win the HOH. So hey, there we go. So I'm also interested in spoilers. If you're going to leave us now, then we'll hopefully have you back for the Wednesday episode and for Thursday. We're going to be covering both of those, the veto for this final week, and then, of course, the finale with the final 3. On Thursday. So check out our other content. We have also covered other shows here on Super Mader Brothers Podcasting that are not related to just Big Brother. We also do Survivor, or we have been for at least about a year now. When that's on the air, we've done Westworld. We've done Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. We just did a
mega cast.
A mega cast. There was a 3-hour mega cast. It's one of the longest podcasts ever. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Jaemeel and I did on Saturday night with Ashley Millard, covering all 6 episodes of that. We also did WandaVision when that series came out. We'll be covering all the new Marvel stuff as it comes out, hopefully. And we also have done different series like The Serpent and Tiger King. So we have a whole Netflix kind of mini series podcast series that we've started here. So Super Mader Brothers Podcasting, very busy. Plus we have other channels like Live Long and Podcast, which is our Star Trek channel, which on Tuesday night we talk about Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Tomorrow we're doing the episode called Life Support. It's about when Vedic Baral dies. Who wouldn't want to see that? On Wednesday we do a Star Trek the Original Series. This week we're doing the Enterprise incident. That's where where Kirk recklessly takes the Enterprise into the Romulan neutral zone and gets surrounded, and then Spock has a romance with a Romulan. It's compelling. Check it out on Wednesday. Plus Star Trek Radio Theater, where we reenact Star Trek scripts, just released the edited version of Samaritan Snare onto the audio version and onto YouTube. I highly recommend checking it out because the live version is fine, but the edited version is almost like the real thing.
Superb.
It's almost, yeah. So I would check that out if you haven't already. And then plus we have Trivial Debates, which is our monthly channel where we argue about movies, TV, sports, and more. That's our last Sunday of every month. Jody Simpson's slated to host the next one. Okay, let's get into spoilers, Jaemeel. I need to know what's happening.
So veto competition has completed, and we have a winner of the veto. It is Tara has won the veto.
Oh yes, I have to thank
And who got me there? Me. I would like to thank me for all my hard work. I would like to thank me for getting Jensen out not once, but now twice. And I would like to thank me for saving my game in this house. Thank you, Tara. Thank you very much.
Yes, she won. She won. And now the conversation is who is going home. And all the parties are doing a great job of basically convincing her to evict them.
Okay. Because now it comes down between Braden and Kiefer, of course.
Yes, but like they're doing it. Each of them are doing a terrible job of convincing Tara not to vote them out.
Oh, well, Braden, but come on. This is so obvious. Like, come on, Tara. If
Like,
you don't take the shot, what, like,
Tashawn basically confirms that he has a pseudo relationship with Braden, which is like, wait, don't say that.
don't
Right?
say that.
Don't say that. So it's like, and then Kiefer brings it up. So it's like, Kiefer also implies like, look, you already mentioned that like the most important thing is family. These guys don't have family. Like this money would change my life, would change your life. So if I lose, I would prefer to lose to you, right? If you were to lose, wouldn't you prefer to lose to me so that like you at least know that it's like it would change our lives for them? What's gonna happen, right? What's really gonna happen for them, right?
Well, Deshaun's
But
not
then in the
exactly
same
a spring
breath,
chicken. Yeah.
then the same breath, Kiefer's like, you do whatever, vote me out. It's like, what? No. No, what are you saying? Don't walk it back. Don't give her an out to say why.
It's his no pressure sales approach.
Yeah, jeez. Like they're each doing a terrible job. So Tara will have to make her own mind. We'll see.
She would have to be absolutely insane not to vote out Kiefer. Like she would deserve to lose. Like, you know, Kiefer would already. No, I was feeling it for a second there, but come on, like.
I'm starting to ruin your parade. I think she's gonna vote out
like,
Kiefer.
there are reasons to choose to vote out Braden, but they don't outweigh on the scale versus Kiefer.
Here's my opinion though. So if she votes out Kiefer, right, and she doesn't win any of the final,
Yeah. She's at a disadvantage because those two are tight.
She's not going to be taken, and Braden will win. Right? Let's say she wins, and she doesn't take Kiefer, and she wins. She'll win the game if she takes Braden or Ty, either one. So she would have to win final 3 to win the game. In that instance, let's say she takes Kiefer and votes out Braden. Is Kiefer going to take Ty? Honestly, I don't think he's going to take Ty. Right? If he wins the final HOH, and he'll take Tara, and she'll get second place.
I don't know. I think it would be a tough decision for Kiefer because they're both jury threats. But he wins. He wins either way. It doesn't matter.
I think for his narrative, if he said that he took out the Sunsetters, I think that would cement that he would win. Right? If as opposed to taking Ty to the end, and then it's like, why did you take this dude? Like, you are mad at us for betraying you, but then you let him slide. That doesn't make any sense. That whole conversation doesn't make any sense. You just pick and choose what works for you in that specific instance, and I'm not gonna give you credit for a move of happenstance, which basically for Kiefer, he hasn't won anything since double eviction, and that was a while ago.
Right.
So he hasn't really had that much impact in the end. Right? Now, if Tara takes Tashawn, right, in the final 3, let's say she votes out Braden, takes Tashawn instead of Kiefer, and she wins, she takes Tashawn, I think she beats him. If she wins final HOH and takes Kiefer, I think it's a compelling argument to say, you know, the laid low, and then when I had to win, I won conversation. It is compelling, and there's a lot of people who support support Tara, especially Beth. So I think that she has more chances to win if she gets out Braden as opposed to if she takes out Kiefer. That's just my opinion, just trying to break it down in the thought process. But regardless, I think that for her to win, like to truly win, she needs to win final 3 HOH. It doesn't really matter what happens.
But her chances are much lower if Kiefer's still in the game. Okay, let's say she wins
to win the game.
Yeah.
Possibly. Like, because as I mentioned before, if Kiefer's still if he's out of the game, she has a 33% chance of winning. Right? If Kiefer's out of the game.
She still has a 33% chance of winning.
Well, if Kiefer's in the game, she has slightly higher. I think it is
She has a higher chance of being taken.
Of taking, yes. So
But it's possible. I could see Tashawn taking Tara even too, right?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he would. I think he would lose to Tara.
Interesting.
Beth does not like Tashawn at all.
So Jed and Beth won't vote for Tashawn now?
Yeah.
You can't
I
not
know.
vote. If you're Tara,
what I'm saying is
Tara,
insane. What I'm saying is insane.
There's no way you can think about it for this much time and come to this conclusion that Braden is the one you need to vote out. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Absolutely. Look, I'm seeing from an outside perspective. For Tara in the house, to me, it's pretty cut and dry. You vote out Kiefer.
Yeah.
Like, you're delusional, mama.
Delusional, mama. And that's what Tashawn and Braden are gonna say to her if she doesn't vote out Kiefer. They'll be like, "What is wrong with this woman? Why would she do that?" And she would have to explain herself. She'd have to explain herself.
Like, if she could recover from this, and then she's the one who cuts Kiefer at final 2, and then she wins 100%, and like she'll be a legend. But she has to.
If she takes Kiefer, I think she can still possibly win.
I don't think so. I think it's a lot hard. Like, maybe, but it
is a harder path. It is a harder path.
A much harder path.
But
and
that's 2 out of 3 versus 1 out of 3.
I think you still have a 1 out of 3 chance, no matter which way you want to look at it. Yeah, Kiefer might take you, but if Kiefer wins and takes you, you're not going to win anyway. You're just going to get second.
But if Tashawn takes you would still win too.
Same result. So safer to vote out Kiefer.
Fair enough.
Tara
has not necessarily taken the easiest path, so why start now?
Why start now? She likes to do things a little bit harder than usual.
She could call him a coward on the way out.
A bunch of cowards.
Yes.
I have to go find a bunch of cowards.
Bunch of cowards.
Did you listen to Beth's exit interview with Taryn?
Yes. It was bad connection.
But like that jury management for Ty, I think that's gonna bite him in the butt, and I think he's a dead man walking unless he like
over. Well, he has to sit next to Braden. Yeah, for Tashawn's end game is to sit next to Braden, and then he maybe does win.
Maybe. But if I don't know, if let's say Braden wins one of the final HOH, I don't know. You're right. We'll see.
What a great feeling!
I'm feeling myself.
Feeling themselves. We'll see. Once again, all my expectations is transferred to Wednesday.
I've already won, Jaemeel, because I have 2. The 2 of the final 3 are my draft picks.
Remember when I was still in this draft? It was so long ago.
It was so long ago. You've been out since Victoria went out, right?
So many years. So many years.
Yeah, so long ago. Who can even remember?
Yes.
But I took a chance on TNT, a different TNT, not the Tara and Tina, but rather Tara and Tashawn.
Yeah, you did.
And here they are. They're in the final 2, and in either Braden or Kiefer will join them.
We'll see. But that's Wednesday, so join us for that, please, folks.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about that. Okay. Hey. All right, it's a sprint to the end here, or is it a sprint to the end or a jog? I can't. We'll figure this out as we go.
This episode felt like a jog, but I think
this felt like a jog, but okay. But I feel like it's just the warm up until we're now. It's like
proper stretching.
Proper stretching. We're working the ligaments, the muscles, all that technical talk. Okay, let's close the book on episode 27. I'm Dave Mader. Thank you, Jaemeel Robinson, for breaking this episode down tonight. And we will be back Wednesday night, and we'll also be on Live Long and Podcast tomorrow. That will be our next show, Tuesday night, 9 o'clock over there. All right. Until then, make sure you play the clip, Dave.